minutes. If you just want to tell us who you want to tell us, make sure you throw your Twitter handle out there. I think everybody, for the most part, is following all 4 of these folks, but you definitely should if you're not. Frank, why don't we start with you, since we picked on you all night here.
Comcast Cares is my Twitter name if you haven't figured that one out yet. But one of the things I'll tell you is, the other thing to know is not only just about being out there, you utilize search much more effectively. Search can tell you, things about your organization before people call you. We know things before our call centers do. What are people answering? They're answering questions. What are you doing? I'm calling Comcast right now because. So you know it before the day of the call even got through. You can actually find things out. A good example is we have an outage involving Fox Sports Net. We were able to validate using search that it was impacting all providers. Now we were able to share a different story. We were able to find out what the root cause was. We were able to share that story. And we were able to share it at all levels, including our frontline representatives, within minutes. You can utilize search much more effectively. Use it to find your friends that you're going to follow, find people with like interests. Use it within your company to learn what people are thinking about.
Closing thoughts. Something insightful.
Steve?
This is going to be overused for those of you that know me, but I think that it's the best way to summarize, and I have a tendency to ramble, but Jeff Jarvis, he blogs at buzzmachine.com. He said that for the first time ever now, you have your product as your advertisement and your customers are your agency, and so all of these tools are about doing that. So build your base, activate your base, really excite them about what you're offering, especially if you have passion, if you have a good story to tell. If you have a story behind your product or your brand, that's better because that spreads, and that's something that people can get behind. So if you're kind of wondering if this is where you should be there. The conversation's waiting for you. It's just go ahead and get started. And you know what? If you kind of start out and you start to fumble a little bit, just say, hey, we're trying to get our legs here, and that people will come to your defense and they'll help you out. They'll provide lots of feedback, and it'll be awesome. So yeah.
Brad, closing thoughts.
So the Starbucks Twitter account, we've been out there for a year. It's been really exciting and really interesting at the same, all at the same time. I just had something really smart to say in my head. We're really just looking to evolve it and continue to, find ways to use it and leverage it in smart ways. I think the next big thing that's going to come, and I don't know if it's going to come from Twitter or from someone else, is figuring out analytics in a smarter way, other than just search. And Comcast is using search in a really great way, but trying to figure out how analytics work within social right now. It works great for the web, but you don't know necessarily, you can't go back 6 weeks and see what someone's been talking about a certain product if it explodes. I think Motrin would have loved to know that. And then there's something else I was going to say, but thanks.
If you think of it, write it on a white card, and I'll call on you. Yeah, Maria,
tweet it.
You could tweet about it. Yeah, there you go. Social media will make you run faster to serve internal people, external people, your customers, people that don't know about you. It's a lot of extra work and it seems very overwhelming, but it's more engaging. And you can bury your head in the sand and not get engaged and not want to be a part of the conversation, but then you're controlling the brand and the brand isn't really real. So people who engage and tell you whether it is who you want to be or who you really are, just get out there, take a leap. Don't be afraid. You're going to screw up. And it's reach out to anyone on the panel for sure and help us and let us help you get answers to that question from some of the experience that we've had, and ask your customers too. So, and make sure you got the right voice.
Awesome. Well, obviously we didn't have time to get to everyone's questions. I apologize personally to that, because it was my job to make sure every single question got asked. The good news is we have dozens of social media sites out there where you can continue the conversation. Social Media Club Seattle is here to help. Every single one of the board members and most of the people here, there are a couple of exceptions. Most of them are willing to help you. Please ask questions, engage with your community. I wanted to say a couple of specific thank yous before we leave. I know Kevin at the top of the presentation, while I was wrestling to get over here, did thank the board member, but without the SMC Seattle board, this would not be possible. Let's give them a round of applause. All their volunteer efforts making this happen. Thank you so much to Kevin, the board president, and all of the SMC board members that are here. I want to thank Shauna and Kenji for managing the live stream. Of course, those 150 folks that everyone outside of those that are here, was watching us online, record numbers. Shauna is nodding her head. She says, sure, record numbers.
Oh yeah.
Spin it, right? Go for it. And finally, I want.
That's what they do.
That's right. There you go. Thank you. And who is she PR with? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just calling it out there. And I also wanted to thank our friends and my employer, 98.9 KWJZ, who donated fabulous gift bags for all of the speakers, so you get some swag to take with you. Nice coffee mug in there and a CD for the flight home, maybe, bring. And finally, I would be remiss without thanking our wonderful panel. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for your insights, for sharing your time with us. All of the comments, of course, we will be bugging you on social media platforms all over the place. Remember that? Why was that one person you met? Speaking of meeting, my name is Brian Westbrook. If you liked what I had to say, if I wasn't a good moderator, a good panelist, I was going to say Chris Perlow, but I've already picked on you once today. Chris is like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. You can find me on Twitter at BMW, Social Media Club Seattle, smcseattle.com. We're on Twitter, SMC Seattle. Please go next door, back over to our makeshift lounge. There are still beverages available. At 9 o'clock, we will head downstairs to the Elysian. It's a bar. They have booze. It's not hosted. Some of your friends that didn't get in there will be there, I promise. They will be down there. Make sure to continue the conversation. Thank you all for coming. And if you asked a question, come see me. I have chocolates courtesy of Mars. If you didn't ask a question, but you can convince me that you're one of the people that did, I might give you chocolate anyway. Thank you very much. Good night.